I wanted to try something new today, whenever you may be watching this. Welcome back to the Movement Warriors. Uh, these short burst live streams, something that I enjoyed doing. I was talking to my editor, Steven, and we were just talking about, he's like, dude, now I get why you like doing live streams so much. It's so much more exciting and fun and natural. And I said, yeah, I've always, even as a musician, I appreciated doing live shows way more than recording in a studio. Uh, it's just more connection, right? And so Dreamer says hi, Caddy George says hi. Hello, friends, how are you? And I wanted to shoot a quick video tonight, something I wanted to experiment with. Hey, Luz, how you doing? Good to see you. Um, is doing these short burst live streams with you all. Try to do one a day if I can, just to give you some encouragement, to give you something to think about, something to meditate on before you end your day. The beautiful thing about these shows is they're going to be completely raw, so you're going to hear my son that's downstairs screaming at his little brother. It's just the reality of my life, man. I don't have a nice little studio where I film at. I mean, I have my office, but that wouldn't in any way, shape, or form drown out the sound of him screaming at the top of his lungs. But really wanting to give you all something to take away for the day, something to think on that's going to keep your mind in the right space as it relates to, hey Ursula, how you doing? As it relates to the idea of living out your destiny and really living out your dreams. And I think so many people believe that their dreams are either impossible or impractical or delusional. And it's like, I look at so many of the successful people in the world, and they're not different from other people in terms of being insanely more intelligent. They're just more willing to believe and more willing to take action. And like, I was at a mastermind this past weekend. I didn't really get a lot of good footage from it just because I was so ingrained in what was being discussed. So I didn't get a chance to film a lot there. Anna Anderson says, good evening. Been missing out. Glad to join y'all again. Looking forward to your words. And I'm looking forward to talking with you. And so I didn't get a lot of footage at the mastermind, but it was freaking amazing. You can rest assured that a lot of what I learned there, I'll be passing on. But I learned a lot about my own mindsets and things that were holding me back in my business and ultimately in my life. Things that I believed that weren't necessarily the truth or right, or just ways that I behave. Hey Rainer, how you doing? Ways that I behave in my life that affect the way that I do business. And if you've never heard Tony Robbins speak, I definitely recommend it. But he talks about, the key to success in business as a business owner is to be squared away yourself. And not to say that I'm not necessarily squared away or undisciplined, just that we can all grow, we can all get better. And there's just so many limiting beliefs that we can have and not even realize they're there. This is something I talk about extremely heavily in our 69 Pillars of Success program. Definitely check that out. It's absolutely free, right, to everybody here on the channel. I want you to enjoy it. I want you to go through it, consume it, go back and watch it, and really take away the nuggets that are in there. We talk about this a lot in my coaching programs as well. And it's funny, the people in my social media courses, they're not, will I be teaching you on Sunday? I certainly will. Absolutely. So I don't know, Luz, are you in the private Facebook group? Because I put an event reminder there for everyone to accept so that you get a reminder when we get ready to go live. But if you're not, let me know. Send me a message and I'll send you a link so that you can join and keep up to date with everything that's happening. Okay, great. But the people in my social media course, sometimes they're kind of taken aback, like, wait a minute, there's all this social media training in here about YouTube and Facebook and business building and how psychology plays into the way we do sales. There's sales training in there. And the funniest thing about it is there's one particular section where people are like, this is like life coaching. And I try to remind my people that, yeah, if I don't help you be as awesome as you can be, all the tips and tactics and strategies I can teach you won't be effective if you are not the strongest version of yourself. So I build a lot of life coaching into all of my programs, right? Caddy George says, I try to get in your Facebook group. I'm not sure which Facebook group you're talking about, but depending on which one it is, I'd be glad to help you get in. But anyway, we talk a lot about mindset and whatnot. And so the title of tonight's video, where the idea here is that we must take command of our lives. Why did I choose to help people take command of their lives. Why did I choose the words that I chose for our vision statement or mission statement? Why do I think it's important enough to make command the word that we use? So, like, if you follow people like Evan Carmichael, who use believe, which is a very powerful word, I wanted to have a word as well that I thought embodied my mission, but ultimately what I believe all of us need to do in order to enjoy our life to the fullest. So the reason why I chose helping people take command of their lives, other than the obvious military influence that I've had from my previous career as a soldier, the idea that you have to take command of your life is really centered around, if you don't take command of your life, believe me, there's a lot of other people out there who would be happy to do it for you. But the problem with other people doing it for you is they don't ultimately have your absolute best interest at heart, right? Now, you may be thinking, well, I have friends, I have family, they certainly have my best interest at heart. Certainly they do. But they're not you. Nobody cares about you more than you do. Literally nobody cares about you more than you do. So it's imperative that we take command of our lives and we take control of that, because if we don't, we're going to be pulled in all these different directions, pulled by circumstances, pulled by limiting beliefs and negativity, pulled by other people's will. I mean, well, don't raise your hand because you're at home alone watching this, but figuratively, raise your hand if you've ever been in a job that you hated or worked for someone that you didn't respect. I mean, that's all of us, right? It's now I've been fortunate in my career. That's been very rare for me. But it has happened. There's been probably in my career at least two people who I was just like, I wouldn't follow this person to a nope, there are three, four. There's a handful of people who I wouldn't follow to a picnic, let alone lead me somewhere important, right? So if you don't take command of your life and your destiny, someone else will, but they're not going to get you where you want to go. They're going to get you where they want to go, right? So here, Loopy Snoopy says, I've definitely been there. Taj Marie actually raised her hand. That's cool. So Dreamer asks, I wanted some advice on something. Can you answer when you've got time? I want to join the military, but my parents aren't really for it. If I did join without their consent, they would disown me. What do I do? Well, I think you have to start with a conversation about, why do you want to join the military? And why do your parents not want you to join the military? Remember, you can't change a situation unless you understand why it's the way it is. So you're saying your parents will disown you if you join the military. Well, there's a reason for that. And if you don't know intimately what that reason is, it's in your best interest to find out. Why are your parents so adamant about you not going into the military? Is it because they're afraid that you may be put in harm's way? That's a legitimate and fair concern to have, because depending on what branch of service you join, there is a good chance at some point during your career you could be put in harm's way, and may be something that your family struggles to think about, is you getting hurt. They may also be pacifists. Perhaps your family believes in nonviolence and that we shouldn't be involved in wars. And I can, even as a combatant and someone who's fought in wars, I can understand people that feel that way. I wish the world didn't need to have war, and certainly I believe we've had wars that we didn't need. But at the same time, these are conversations that you should be able to have openly. Dreamer says they are very religious and they believe it's wrong. They think, if I do, I will go to hell. Well, so I don't know what religion you're from, but let's say, for example, you believe in the Bible or Christianity. It's an interesting belief system to have, that people would go to hell for being in the military, when a great number of, let's say, the Bible's heroes were actually military leaders. You had David, you had Joshua, right? You had Moses, you had Samson, you had the judges from the book of Judges, many of which had to resort to violence to free their people from oppressive kings, for example, in their area. They are Jehovah's Witnesses and they're very strict. Okay, so I'm not fully read in on Jehovah's Witness. I know a little bit about it, but I don't know specifically what their views on war are. But that's really something that you'll have to really soul search yourself and really, at the end of the day, the reality is if you are still living in your parents' house, there's some leeway where it's like, you gotta follow the rules of the people that are paying to feed you. I respect that. But when you become an adult, at the end of everything, you're gonna have to make the decisions. You're gonna have to decide what your life looks like. So what I would just submit to you is not necessarily to give you advice as to whether you should or should not do it, because you're really the only person that knows that. But what I begin to think about is, why do you want to join the military? What about it is attractive to you? What are your goals? What do you want to accomplish by joining the military? Because what I would hate to see you do is have the pain that you're going to go through by going against what your parents believe and getting in the military and not liking it, right? That's a double whammy. Or not just not liking it, but realizing that's not what I thought it was going to be. This isn't what I thought I signed up for. So those are some soul searching questions you really have to dig in and ask. I don't think I'm in a position to tell your parents what to believe. I fundamentally don't agree with disagreeing with people's belief system in terms of like trying to convince them that I'm right for what I believe if I don't know them. Like I think a lot of religions do that, including my belief system. We love to insert our ideas and our ideals into other people's lives unwelcome, right? So for me to sit here and say your parents are wrong, you're not going to go to hell, even though I believe that your parents are wrong, I can say that. But it's not my place to tell them that they're wrong, because I don't have a rapport with your parents to have that discussion, right? And outside of text that we may or may not believe are right or wrong, it's not like I can just show some fundamental evidence of here's the thing. Although, like I said, I named some people from biblical history that were clearly warriors. But really, what I would do is start to soul search. Why do you want to be in the military? And is it really the military that you want to be in, or is there something that you're perceiving about the military that you maybe, what the core of really what you want to experience isn't necessarily a military thing, it could be something else, right? And I am a military person. I can tell you it's some of the best memories from my entire life, so, and I've served with some really great people who I was honored that they put up with me because they made me, who was probably mediocre at best, look really, really good. All right. Jamina says, "Hey Bryant, great to be here in live chat with you. I'm about to record my first YouTube video, sweet, today for my channel. My channel is about my weight loss journey. Awesome. I'm kind of nervous. Any tips, please? Do it nervous. Every time that you do it, it's gonna get a little bit easier. And it's so here's the beautiful thing about what you're experiencing right now, because I've been on stage and on camera so much that it just comes a little bit naturally to me. So I present this confident, assured person, right? And it's kind of my personality anyway. I would be good at faking it even if I wasn't confident, because it's just part of my demeanor. But what so many people miss when they say I'm shy or I'm nervous is when you put that on camera. Raise your hand if you believe that a good majority of the people who are going to be watching you would feel exactly like you when you film. Nervous, a little bit shy, a little bit awkward, right? I would guess that the majority of the people who are going to watch you feel the same. What a beautiful connection to make with your audience, that I'm not perfect. I don't have this polished presentation. I mean, my presentations are by far not polished. By the way, the reason why I don't do studio lighting and try to make my channel look professional. That is, believe me, I have all the equipment to do it. It's on purpose. I am laying here on my bed next to my blinds. These are really expensive blinds, by the way. And I'm not saying that to brag. I don't know anything about blinds. I just know that's what my wife told me because she says I can never touch them. But the authenticity that comes out when you're nervous and you show that nervousness on camera creates a legitimate connection with people who are. Go ahead, bring him in, man. You're not going to interrupt me. It's his time to go to bed. I'm going to shut this down soon anyway. Hey, brother. My baby's coming in the room. Both my babies. My lady baby and my real baby. So, what a beautiful connection to have with people who are like, you know what? I can relate to her because she's not perfect. She's not like, I just saw a video on YouTube that actually scared me. The girl had so much makeup on. She looked like a Star Wars character, but one of the aliens, but she was human. And not that she wasn't attractive, it's just she worked so hard to get her face to look a certain way. It was like she didn't even look like a human. But what a beautiful connection to have people connect with you and feel what you feel, that nervousness and that tension. Do you know I have videos where I filmed entirely with my shirt on inside out? And it's beautiful to watch people think that I wasn't aware of it. Like, he filmed this whole thing with his shirt inside out and he's not even given an F. Authenticity, right? I have filmed episodes where my camera was upside down. Didn't fix it. Authenticity. So my advice to you is be you on camera. Be every bit of nervous that you are because that's real. And people are fed so much BS. So much BS from the marketers who are all over the internet. And I know I am one, so I realize what I'm saying. To what happens on reality TV, which, come on, we know it's nonsense and it's scripted and staged. To the news, which is being used biologically to sell people ads. I just think it's cool. I think it's cool that you're nervous, and I would go with it. That's my advice. Let's see what I missed here. And did she say something about a birthday too? Ursula says they have the freedom to be a Jehovah's Witness due to wars that were fought. So it sort of supports their freedom. Yeah, that's cool. So Jamina says, it's my 39th birthday today. What? Happy birthday. So by this time next year, I'll be 40, wanting to lose excess weight by that time. No. So let me interject. You will lose the weight. And you know why you'll lose the weight? One, because you want to. And two, because you want to so bad that you're willing to put in the work to do it. Every single day. Remember, 1 is greater than 0. Win more than you lose. Okay, that's one of my catchphrases that I use all the time. And it's funny because when I teach people that, they're like, that's dope. Win more than you lose. Some days you're going to cheat on your diet. It's just going to happen. Win tomorrow. Win more times than you lose, and you will hit your goals. But remember, your goals are not about motivation or getting up and saying mantras. All this stuff that people spout on the internet is BS. Your goal is going to be completely tied to how bad you want it, because wanting it bad enough is going to get you through the days where you don't feel motivated, right? There are days where I don't feel motivated to get up and go work out, but I do it because I want to stay healthy, right? But happy birthday, my lady. Dreamer says, thank you very much. I have a lot to think about. What military branch were you in? I was in the Army. Thank you for asking. Let's see. Taj says, I'm a card-carrying introvert, and I'm seldom nervous doing presentations compared to my older extroverted sister. However, I have been practicing public speaking off and on since high school. Yeah, that'll do it. So Alden Ray says, what is your MBTI? I don't know if they're asking me. I am an ENTJ. And yes, the other advice that Taj pointed out, Jamina, is that it does get easier. Over time, you will be less nervous just because you've done it so much. It's like when people ask comedians, do you get nervous when you go on stage? It's like, no, I've done this 3,000 times. It could go completely horrible, and I'm still going to be like, cool, because I'm still getting paid. Jolly Mage is here. What's up, man? Have y'all seen the Jolly Mage and what he's doing on his Facebook fan page? And man, this dude is out there killing it. This is one of my boys, man. Go way back with that dude. So glad to see you winning, Jolly. I appreciate you, dude. Look at my man, Danny Boy. What's up, man? Good to see you on this side, man. Man, I miss you guys already. Let's see. Jamina says, "Great advice, Brian. Okay, I will just be me, scared and all. Bless you. Yeah, do it afraid. Do it afraid. Do it afraid. Right? You don't think David was scared before he went to fight Goliath? Of course he was. He did it anyway. Let's see. Jolly Mage says, "It's all you and your advice, my brother. It ain't all me, dude. You're the one putting in the work. You're the one putting in the work, brother." Terry says, "What's up, Brian? What's up, Terry? Good to see you, my man. I'm so excited for the Hexaco video," says Ursula. I am too. I am too. What does the wrench mean, Jolly Mage? Asks Moonlight. So it means that he is a moderator. So if any of you get out of line, Jolly has the ability to remove you because he's an administrator on my channel. He can cut anybody. So what a lot of people may not know is Jolly and I used to work together on the entertainment side. Once upon a time, we used to have great fun until I would ruin it with my speeches. Kenny Heaton says, "I'm looking forward to those too." Sean says, "Just walked into the live chat. What up, B? What's up, Sean? Good to see you, man." That's cool. Terry says, "People have been complaining about YouTube's new policy. I've been telling them not to worry, but they're concerned that YouTube will be removing the ability to link their videos." What do you mean to link their videos? Give me more specifics there, Terry, my friend. Jolly says the good old, well, the soapbox is still here. The difference is the soapbox is appropriate on this channel. Not so much appropriate when everyone's trying to play Minecraft and I'm trying to preach. It's hilarious. So I asked Terry for you to specify because what you're talking about, if I'm interpreting it right, is already happening. Like YouTube has removed my ability to post links. I'm getting ready to drink water out of an orange juice thing. Check it out. You want to talk about authenticity? Look how ghetto I am. This is how I roll. You know why I drink out of these? Because I can drink a ton of water all at once. I don't have to keep going and getting refills. This is tonight's water. Check it out. It's delicious. Right, Zach? Or you sleep? Yeah? Okay. That's how we do. That's authenticity, friends. Keep it real. So people complain. So if Terry's so I don't know the specifics, just going from what I've heard. So if you're talking about the policy where, so YouTube has actually changed, for example, my ability, I can't link anybody to my website anymore. I can do it in the description, but I can't do it with tags or the stupid, what are the, not the annotations, but the things that replace cards. I used to be able to place cards on YouTube that would link people to my website. Can't do it anymore. Basically, YouTube said, if you're not going to monetize your channel, we're not going to let you link people to your website. So I told YouTube, that's fine. I'm not monetizing my channel. I guess people just have to figure out about my website another way. Raven says, "Sorry I'm late. Just finished the mastermind." No worries, Raven. Hey, Raven, I wanted to run something by you for the Social Media Ninja Academy. Do you think it makes sense for us to have you post once a week, like a really, and you've been doing this already, I'm just thinking about systemizing it, like a really cutting edge marketing trend or YouTube trend or even other social media trend for the group to discuss every week? That would be valuable for keeping people's heads in the game. I was thinking about that the other day, just saying maybe every Monday we have a topic that you post and we talk about it during the week to keep everybody's head in the game until we do our next videos. I think of that way. And you've been doing that. I'm just thinking it may make sense to put it on the schedule. So sorry to do work business on a live call, people. Terry says, "Yeah, I noticed that as well. I don't think cards are really effective, to be honest. I miss annotations. They really helped me in my videos because I could add additional notes in the video of stuff I missed." Raven says, "Yeah, sounds like a great idea." Awesome. What's happening, man? So good. Dreamer said, "Savage." Cool. Rainer said, "I'd be up for that." Sweet. Rainer's up for it, then it's got to be a good idea. Got to be a good idea. So anyway, going back to the topic at hand, I'm not going to keep you guys much longer. I'm probably going to get up out of here. and go to bed myself. But taking command of your life, the reason why I chose that is simply, if you don't take charge of your life, somebody else will, and that others, somebody else or circumstances will, and neither one of those two entities has your absolute best interest at heart. And even if somebody loves you and cares for you, they're still not you, right? So taking command isn't about being arrogant or egotistical. It has everything to do with being humble, giving value to other people such that it gives you more leverage and more authority in your own life. And really just understanding that everything you want to accomplish, whether it's money or it's your career or it's relationships, like what I often talk about on this channel, which I don't really talk about when I'm doing marketing, is the relationships I have in my life, which are really powerful. I have some really strong iron sharpens iron relationships. Plus, I have a wife that's just, it's funny. Like when I was still doing music, every time people would meet my wife, they'd be like, "How did you trick her into marrying you? Like you're a, like you are not up to her level." I'm like, well, apparently I'm good at sales. But the point there is, the reason why I've been able to cultivate those things, and believe me, it's by far not been, it's not been perfect. Neither one of us have been completely saintly our entire marriage, but we've been at least consistently happy, you know, save for obvious dark times that come to any relationship, usually caused by the individuals in it, namely me. But being able to put those things together wasn't an accident, right? Like finding the woman that I married and her being amazing didn't just happen. It wasn't just luck. Like I was taught and I was modeled how to build relationships going back as far as 18 years old by people who were smarter than me, who were 20 years my senior, who had done it and taught me things like, all the stuff on TV about when you get older, you want to trade your wife in for a new model. It's BS. Like if you do your relationship right, dude, all of the physical parts of a relationship get better as you get older. It's been absolutely true. The person that taught me that, I remember the couple that used to teach us that in our marriage counseling sessions when we were back in our ministry and church days. And that's been absolutely true, man. Absolutely true. But most people don't experience that because they're not taught better. And I used to have a mentor of mine that used to always preach, you live at the level you're taught, right? Like I get better at business the more I learn. I get better at sales the more I learn. I get better at relationships and dealing with people the more I learn and the more I'm willing to learn and be teachable. So you've got to do whatever it takes to take command of your life, because ultimately, if you know Sigmund Freud and Nietzsche were right, one of the big purposes of us existing in this life is to achieve happiness. And I think happiness comes from when we're serving properly and when we have control, when we get to sit in the captain's chair of our lives. I don't think there's any other happier situation. It's like in my 69 pillars, one of the videos that I'll be shooting soon is called, what is it called? Freedom and safety are mortal enemies. And they're always pit against each other. It's almost like equality and freedom. It's the same type of principle. Equality and freedom exist on a counterbalancing scale. If you want everybody to be 100% equal, you're going to remove some freedoms. If you want complete freedom, then you're going to have less equality. It's just the nature of the universe. Same thing goes for safety. Like, you can be safe or you can be free. And in life, you need a balance of both, right? You don't want to be stupid and be completely unsafe, but you don't want to be so safe that you don't get to live the free and abundant life that I believe God put us on the earth to live. So that's my take for tonight. I'm going to go through these last comments and I'm going to bed, make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's see. Terry says, by the way, Brian, do you still not have Discord? Yes, I do have Discord. It would make so much easier for people to connect with you as it's very flexible. I'd argue it's better than Facebook. It's fine for connecting with people, but the reason why I'm on Facebook is because there's more people there actively. Plus, the people I'm looking to connect with are a slightly older crowd, too. So, not that older people aren't on, like, where I've started to take my brand is focused, even though a lot of young people follow me, and I think that's amazing. a lot of my focus is on either older or even more mature younger people, and asking people that aren't already on a platform to come join a platform is a quick way to not have a lot of people there. Ursula says, I got the confidence to tell a friend of 30 years that if his contact with me is stupid, superficial, dirty videos, I have no time for him until he can up his game. I feel good about it too. Thanks, B. Sweet. Amen. Happiness comes from serving. I agree wholeheartedly, as do I. Dreamer says, great advice. Jolly says, so you said to pay it forward, and I have been thinking about this for a while. I would like to talk to the Academy about my findings during the past year on my acting journey. Dude, we need to bring you on the next VIP call and have you actually coach a session. I would love to have that. 100%. I'd love to have you on my podcast too, man. We need to, you, me, and Raven will connect and figure out how we do that. But I'd love to have you come on the podcast and talk about it, but also have you come on and do one of our VIP videos, like have you coach one of the modules. It's really just telling your story. It doesn't have to be like formal coaching. A lot of what I do, you've been around me long enough, is a lot of storytelling. Yeah, and the mastermind would be great too. Good point, Raven. I'd love for you to share, because you've been having a lot of success. I've been watching you on Facebook, and it's been really cool to watch you do your dream, man. Like, yes, he's doing it, right? And I think that'll encourage a lot of people in our group. So yeah, let's set it up. Me, Raven, and we can probably get a chat going on Facebook chat or wherever we want to connect, and we can make that work. Awesome. Let's see. Ingrid says, what are your quick thoughts on ENTJ, ESFP personality types? To be honest with you, I've been moving away from this idea. A lot of modern psychology that's been being studied, it goes all the way back to the 30s, but really started to pick up steam in the 80s and 90s, is moving away from typing people and doing what I call scaling people. So what do I think about ESFPs? Well, I think they're as varied as pretty much any other type of person, right? And when we, and not to say that I'm not in the group that thinks Myers-Briggs is complete BS, but I think people have tried to use these types to typecast one another and try to fit people into comfortable boxes, because human beings like things to be very simple. And in some cases, I think we like to oversimplify. So I think any different, like I know other ENTJs who are very different from me, and they live up to a lot of the bad stereotypes. I don't really. So I really look at the human personality as a moving target and a shifting target that adjusts to its environment. And certainly there are default settings that I think can be measured, but a lot of those things can be adjusted. Whereas the Myers-Briggs likes to kind of say, this is what you are, is what you're going to be, and you're in this box forever. Yeah, one could argue, because a lot of people that meet me, for example, think that I'm an S type by the way I talk and some of the things that I talk about. But if you saw how scatterbrained I was half the time, you might not think that so much. But it's also because a lot of my ability to exist under a lot of the S type personalities is learned, right? I was a military officer, so I had to have a lot of structure and sensing about the way that I communicate and the way that I operate. But it wasn't necessarily natural. It's just things that I picked up. And I think you can begin to adjust and augment your personality. And I think personality changes with maturity, right? I think so. I think they're great people, but I don't have any thoughts really beyond that. Let's see. Infinite Games says, hey, just making sure I didn't miss any other questions. And I see that Ingrid is actually from Germany. And a lot of people are going to wonder how I know that. Cool. Ingrid says, thank you for sharing. Thank you for your service. It's my honor. Thank you. Cool. Anyway, friends, I love you very much. I am going to bed. Always remember, a couple of things, couple of takeaways. Do not sleep on the 69 Pillars of Success. I know a lot of you have been watching it, but I want to encourage more of you. Spend the time and just, you don't have to watch all of it at once. Just watch one video a day. I know some of them are lengthy. Some are 30 minutes long, some are 40, some are an hour, but some are 7 minutes, some are 15 and 11. Don't sleep on the 69 Pillars of Success program. I've built that for you all to have something to really lay a foundation for success in your life in the areas of relationships, career, health, mental stability, emotional stability, and ultimately just overall happiness. So don't sleep on that. Yeah, I think that's all I got for you guys. I love you very much. Remember that we're stronger than I, and I'll see you tomorrow.